In Ghana, do they actually have guys that don't eat out?
That's one thing.
Because in Nigeria, 60% of guys don't eat out.
Like I told her that the universities there, they live like kings.
Yeah.
We struggle, because they genuinely want you to suffer.
Nigeria, like that darkness welcomes you to Nigeria. But here, even the undeveloped areas, if your needle falls on the floor, you can pick it back. There was one time I actually got to believe that it was Nigerian that was giving gas.
I think it's gas they supply them. Gas.
I was meant to believe, but when I come that time, I can't see the light. How we were they giving us something to get the thing pass? So is it even possible?
Most of them that comes to school here is because they are unable to get admission in Nigeria.
They must have tried.
Because to get admission in Nigeria, you are literally fighting against millions.
The thing is about this living of a thing in Nigeria. If you calculate it, the poor actually tend to spend more because they eat every day.
Every day, you cook every day.
Yes, you cook every day. But once you
Tribers, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to today's video. It's Vanessa here, and we have
Joy Efe.
On today's episode, we're going to be talking about like differences and similarities between living in Ghana versus living in Nigeria. I'm a Nigerian YouTuber. I primarily live in Ghana. She's a Nigerian YouTuber also, but she lives in Nigeria. That's visiting. So I feel like we're the two perfect people to talk about living in Ghana versus living in Nigeria. So if this is something that you're interested, keep watching. Before we get on with the video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share also. And let's get straight into today's video. So differences between living in Ghana and Nigeria, day-to-day life. I feel like I'm going to start. So day-to-day life living in Ghana and Nigeria. The very first time I came to Ghana, I'm like, I still feel like I was living in Nigeria. I feel like the difference I was just saying is the language. They speak English. It's an Anglophone country also, so English is their like official language. So almost everyone you see, everyone speaks English or understand English, but they had like a general language everyone was speaking, which was the tree. I'm like, oh, this is like interesting, which we don't have. But I feel like day-to-day life is mostly the same thing.
Okay.
Like you now, you live in Nigeria and I live in Ghana. We wake up, the routine is actually similar, right? Because I didn't feel like I was living like somewhere quite different. The only difference you notice is, like I said, the language and maybe the food also.
And because even the time zone is not really too far.
We're just an hour apart.
If you can call in the morning, it's morning.
Yeah.
If you call afternoon, it's afternoon. If you call at night, it's night. So it's actually not.
And then I also discovered that their school system is similar to us. Like I already know this before coming, but that was just for the secondary school. Like we call secondary school, they call senior high school. But the whole system is very similar to Tijuana. We write the same junior YX, senior YX that they write.
Really?
You know, YX is West African.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
So I now realized that the only difference I saw in their schooling system was the university system. You know, in Nigeria, after you write your YX, you can't manage pass that YX. You now write jump. Okay, yeah, before post-UM. Yeah. After you write JAM, and then maybe you beat your cutoff for the school you're applying to. If you're federal university, it has to be 200 plus points. Then for state university, it has to be 180. 180. Yeah, 180 and above. So if you score below 180, you automatically qualify for Polytechnic. That's for the lesser, that's how it is in Nigeria. And then when you've done that, then there's something else you write again that's called post-UME, which means the school now that you've applied to, that you've gotten the cutoff mark, you now have to write an entrance exam to see if the department you want to go to, if you are fit for it. That's how they test you to get to university in Nigeria. There won't be, if you want to do engineering, for instance, you have to write physics, chemistry, like courses similar to the part of engineering you want to do, right? If you don't score up to the required cutoff, automatically, maybe if you are close to the cutoff a bit, they might put you in another department, right? In science. But if you're a bit lower than the regular cutoff, they won't give you admission at all. It means your jam for that year is wasted.
You have to wait for the
you have to
next
wait for
year.
the next year to write another JAMB to start writing post-UME
Another
again. Yeah, till you can like fast both JAMB and post-UME, you do not get admission. So the process of getting an admission in Nigeria is like cutthroat, is like really competitive. That's why you see there was someone I was talking to about some Nigerians that comes to school here. It was like, oh, Nigerians come here to school a lot. I'm like, yeah, I've seen some of them. It was like, oh, it's because I'm like, most of them, not all, most of them that comes to school here is because they are unable to get admission in Nigeria.
They must have tried
because to get admission in Nigeria, you are literally fighting against millions.
Yes.
To get admission.
I still remember when we wrote post-UME that time, about 5,000 will write post-UME.
For a department that wants just 300.
You are buying the form.
You are paying for all of them.
You will read. You even have to pay for lessons, go to lessons online and offline. And then you write the exam. Out of 5,000, they might just pick 200.
Yeah, maybe because departments have been like 200-300.
Do you know some teenagers have committed suicide because of lack of admission?
As in,
even last year, there was one video that went viral of a girl that committed suicide because she failed her JAMB.
Oh.
She didn't even know how to like present her result to her parents. She just took her life.
That way they were too strict. I feel like most parents, they understand that.
Sometimes it's not really the parent. I feel maybe she saw the struggle that the parent had to go through to even get the JAMB form.
Yeah.
And maybe the effort they put for her, and then she disappoints them.
One thing I think they should do in Nigeria is they should make JAMB valid for like 5 years. Just so if you don't get admission the first year,
you use the same JAMB.
Because once you pass JAMB and you fail post-UME, you have to write JAMB again.
You see some people, they have written JAMB like 8 times. Meaning you've been in the house after your secondary school for 8 years.
There were some persons that I finished secondary school with. I already got in my first degree and I was on my second degree and they were still looking for admission. I swear. The same admission. So, like, to get admission to university in Nigeria is cutthroat. So, some of them are a bit fortunate or their parents can afford it. They just come to Ghana. And because here, Ghana, I think like once you pass your WAEC and you can afford the school fee here, you can just go to university. So it's not like that. Maybe because too much is the population.
Private schools in Nigeria are prospering too.
Yes.
You just, as long as you've written, some of them don't even ask for JAMB. Like the program I'm currently running, they don't have business with JAMB.
That's another thing, right? At least some of the people that were unable to get admission, but their parents are well to do, they go to private universities in Nigeria, or some of them go to diaspora, UK, and the rest. And then the other ones that the level is not as they go to other neighboring African countries to get admission, like Ghana and Togo and the rest. There are Nigerians that school in Benin, Togo.
Yeah, that's true.
Because you don't stress to it, but we that school in Nigeria, the system is cultural. People don't realize that.
Even if you school outside Nigeria, I think for you to even go for a youth service, there's a procedure.
Because you can't just bring your result and say, I'm going to go for youth service. Because they feel like you were not given same training the ones that are here. The whole process, that rigorous process.
Most times, the foreigners are actually better.
Because the thing is, after going through all that stress and picking just the best of the best to get the admission, the lecturers will make your life miserable. Because I feel like in Nigeria, we have a lot of lecturers that are just naturally sadists.
Yes, they are. Especially in government
universities.
I don't think people in private university actually experience what we experience.
That's why you see.
Because they are paying for their services.
Like in Nigeria, right? Someone that has first class from a private university, they're not respected.
Yes.
You can come and be like, I'm a first class graduate from this private university in Nigeria. People will just look at you like... The lecturers
will be angry with you. When will you even graduate? Because some of them will bluntly ask you, I graduated with 3rd class. Why will you graduate with 1st class?
Like the school we went to, there were lecturers that would genuinely tell you that they will never let you graduate with 1st class, because if they let you graduate with 1st class, you're automatically better than them in the labor market.
Yes.
So to get that 2-1, in fact, to get 2-2 in a public university, you can have 1st class in a private university in Nigeria. In fact, someone with 3rd class in public university is a first class career in private university. They will come for me now because you put no, but that's the truth.
That's actually the truth.
That is caught truth. So we that went to public university in Nigeria, Mona respect us.
It's actually not easy. It's not
people,
easy.
Lecturers, they will frustrate you. Like it's wicked. So yeah, that's one of the major
that is why
differences.
When Nigerians, like the ones that graduated in Nigeria and they maybe traveled for their masters,
you see how they excel.
Well. Yes, they just excel because the kind of
So when you go to universities like for masters. See, like in America, I know like the most educated or thriving immigrant community are Nigerians. UK is the same thing. Like, if you go to a lot of UK university, a lot of Nigerians doing masters, they're graduating with distinction. People are surprised. I'm like, it's because of the kind of schools we went to.
That there is like nothing.
Yeah, because you're not passing
you
through
get
stress.
Is what you write. That's what they give you score for.
You can have like a perfect score in a Nigerian university. The lecturer will like, there is no way you should be able to get perfect score. They will cut it down. I swear to God.
Yes, they will cut it down.
Nobody.
They will even look at you sometimes and say you don't even deserve it. Like physically, you don't deserve it.
My first school I went to, because it was my second degree that I met Joy. The first school that I went to, there was this lecturer we had, logic. Maths logic, right? He literally came to class and was like, we are like first year, was like, I'm going to give you guys final year level exam. When you are still teaching us intro to some of these subjects, because first year is intro to a lot of this thing, right? Like first semester, right?
Even some 200 levels, you are still doing intro.
So you've not like we've not got to the advanced stage, but you feel like we should be writing like degree exam. Just because he knows if you give us degree exam, we won't do well. There can be like mass failure or maybe score average. Then you come and sort them because the lies may will not open our detty list. But then that was what happened, and then the exam was so difficult. Then we went to like VC. We had to like rewrite the exam again because people had evidence that this was what the man did. Because look at our curriculum, look at the questions we were given in the exam. That is how some lecturers as well.
Well, recently, how the system actually runs is if people fail your course too much, you'll be sanctioned.
Yeah.
If they pass too much, you will still be sanctioned. Yes, that's what is going on currently.
School system in Nigeria, like the secondary school system is similar, but the university, like there's vast difference.
Yeah, it's very different.
Like I told her that the universities there, they live like kings.
Yeah,
we struggle, because they genuinely want you to suffer.
Yes, sir.
Just to get a degree. Because you will not value it if you live with this degree. Anyway, that's one of the differences or similarities or differences between living in Ghana versus living in Nigeria. And number two is food. Difference between living in Ghana and Nigeria is, I feel like a lot of people buy food a lot in Ghana than cooking.
Yeah, in Nigeria they cook.
They cook a lot. Like there are a lot of like you can go to like shop bar here and it's filled with people like at the end of the day coming to buy food and eat.
In Ghana, do they actually have guys that don't eat out?
That's one thing.
Because in Nigeria, 60% of guys don't eat out. They eat at home.
So there's a lot of like homemade food being eaten. There's homemade food here too. I bet like people are more prone to like buying food here. Because I thought you
can practically buy anything here. But there you can't buy anything. There's just these particular things you can just
like rice dishes. You can easily buy them. But if you want to eat like starch and white egusi soup or starch and oat soup, you have to be going to somewhere far from you to go and look for it.
So
to
you
buy.
will just prepare it in your house.
Prepare it in your house, and it's very like I think it's cheaper to cook in Nigeria than to buy food. But here, it's cheaper to actually buy food than to cook.
Oh, okay.
That's what I've noticed for my own self. Like,
yes, in Nigeria, the money we use to buy 2 plates of food, you can actually cook 5 plates of soup.
Yes, exactly, we eat.
Yes.
But here, I can go and I can eat like wachi with 40 cedis but I can't make
wachi for you
for 40 cedis.
It's not possible.
Maybe I may not know how to go to the market where, but the food system. But other than that, they have like local food. We have local food. They have like shop bar. That's like they call their own shop bar. We have like restaurants or bukas, roadside, and this thing also. There is street food. Then there is street hawking like Nigeria also.
Yes.
Or you can buy everything on the traffic, drink food, anything.
But
you
then
literally
that
can
one is
buy.
mostly in Lagos.
Yeah, it's mostly in Lagos. And then 3 is cost of living. Cost of living between Nigeria and Ghana. Now Nigeria has become very expensive. Usually there was like this vast difference. That was one of the biggest cultural shock I experienced when I come here. Because cost of living was like, you know, when we were in school, we used to be able to like survive with 500 naira in school.
Then 500 had value.
Yeah.
Right. Currently now, if a student tells me, okay, there is this mother that reported her daughter. She said her daughter made soup with 9,000 naira, and the soup lasted just 1 day. But that same soup was something that then would have made with 500 1,000.
Yeah.
But I made her understand that
this
she needs to look at the situation of the country to understand that it's actually not the girl's fault. Because she was saying the girl will have to drop out. She's living a lavish life with 9,000.
Because then, you can go to the market, buy fish 100 cedis. I'd love to stay this Ghana. 100 naira, buy meat 100 naira, you buy tomato 15 naira, pepper 15 naira. You've made pot of stew. A student that will last you. And the way we're talking about it, you think that this was ages ago. It's not. It's just this past government that turned everything upside down in Nigeria for us. And also another reason why, as like in our own school was very affordable, was we went to like a school that was in a small community.
Yes.
It wasn't in a major city. We went to Ekboma, University Ekboma. So we're not like in a major city. So obviously foods are cheaper there, but still
cost of living is very cheap too.
Yeah. But compared to Lagos,
those rooms we used to rent for 20k a year that time.
20k is 200 cedis.
200 cedis.
My renting in school was 200. No, let me check there. My school fees was 50,000.
Which is 500 cedis.
Yes, 500 cedis.
But right now, their school fees is about 250,000, which is 2,500 cedis.
Under Buhari, because we were under Jonathan.
And then
Buhari even entered when we were still in school
yes,
also.
It depends on your department.
Yeah.
So some departments are paying more. And then that room you used to pay 200 cedis for a year. Now you can't even get it for 2,000 cedis a year.
Can you imagine?
Yes, and it will still be that same house, not like the house was demolished and built again.
It's cost of living. House. Cost of living has now risen drastically in Nigeria, but prior to that, the distance or the margin difference was very big. When I just came, if I'm buying something, I will be converting it to Nigerian money, and I will be having like heart palpitation. No, I don't even try it. It got to a point, everybody was like, you need to stop converting because you will not buy anything if you're converting it. But now, the cost of living is rising or has risen in Ghana also. So it's even way more expensive than when I just moved to Ghana. But Nigeria is going up, but still Nigeria is a bit more affordable than Ghana.
Yes, it is.
Like they do like day-to-day cost of living. Like, let's say if you are back home in Nigeria now, what's the average money you spend in a week for a family of 5? Yeah, family of 5 now.
I can't. The thing is, if I decide to start calculating, my head go burst too.
And just
but
like
I just know,
like
let's say I want to
for day-to-day running. No, you're not like not renting.
Okay, like every day you need to get fuel because there's no light, and then for you to run your fuel, maybe from evening when you get back from work till morning when you're leaving the house with your kids to maybe school, you have to run a fuel of a minimum of maybe 25,000 naira. That's just for one night. And you need to calculate that for a week. And then if you decide to do breakfast, lunch, dinner.
For a night, 25,000, you burn 25 liters in a day.
25 liters, yes now.
No, buy lister. Because even our lister at home, we don't even use 10 liters. And it carries like multiple flats.
But right now, so if you not can get lister, you know buy fuel. Wow. Yes, you need to run.
Because like,
I not forget, say, Nigerian or our 1 liter na half liter. So when you are paying for 25 liter,
it's the same thing. They tie their liter.
Yeah, so it's not like you are getting the exact.
That's really expensive.
That's one. Then secondly, the fuel is not like it's purified. Most of the fuels they burn very fast. You get, so it's like normal. So about a minimum of 25k. Not like if you wake up the next day, the gen will go off, but at least you know you need this amount of fuel for it to last for you till the next day. Then maybe lunch, though it depends on what you want to cook, but the minimum amount you can use to prepare any food that 5 persons can eat right now is like 20,000.
For once eating?
Yes, just once eating. Maybe you want to eat lunch and then you just pick 1 or 2. And it depends on what you want to cook.
Once eating 20,000?
Yes, now. If let's say you want to prepare spaghetti, let me give an instance. Let's say I want to prepare spaghetti, which is among like the cheapest food you can make. Spaghetti currently is like 1,500. For a family of 5, you need to get like 2. That's like 3K. Then let's say you need to buy fish. The minimum amount for fish, healthy fish, because they have different kinds of fish, but you need to eat. You get fish maybe for 3,000 for one. Let's say you are buying 2, because of course 1 fish will not be enough.
That's 6,000. That's 9,000.
That's 9,000. You need to get tomatoes. Like that tomatoes you bought for 5,000 yesterday is the same thing in Nigeria currently.
But you can't use other tomato to make spaghetti. And you even use up to half of it.
No, that your bowl small.
No, it's olonka. Olonka is derica, big derica. Nigeria, they call olonka big derica.
Okay, let's say 9,000, and then maybe you buy, let's say you just do tomatoes 3K.
And because that tomato,
pepper to onions and the rest 1,000.
It means you are using that half derica to make spaghetti.
This thing, Abi.
That half derica, that big derica.
I don't know if you calculate and lessen because you not even see and lessen.
No, when you buy and more like that, obviously you're not going to use this one. So you call like, okay, the amount I'm like this tomato I bought now olonka. I miss olonka and derica. They won't call on derica. They won't call on olonka at the same time.
That's like, the olonka and that be the name of the container.
Yes, they call it olonka.
Here.
Yes, we call it derica.
Okay.
Like
meaning the Olonkana is the company here. Why Derica?
No.
Because Derica is the name of.
Yeah, we they call it Derica because na tomato. No, so Derica na name of na tomato company. So what they call every tomato cup when big like that Derica. So they just say, give me 1 Derica of rice. Now 1 tomato. So then
they call
too,
it Olonka.
Yeah, they call that thing or any tomato container like that Olonka. Yes, now they call it. So I don't know whether a company like they call too, but I don't say when I call they call it Olonka. Why I not say for Nigeria they call it Derica. So that one Olonka I bought, I can make a stew, make a jollof with it. It go still remain. Then if I'm making soup that you need tomato because it was a lot. If they see the video you see them right. So anyway. You are explaining the cost of this.
So let's say you buy your vegetables 4,000 plus 9, that's like 13,000. Depending on what you want to put in your food. But
that's everything you are putting in spaghetti. Now what else are you putting?
For you now, me now I go put hot dog. I feel put hot dog.
But that's not like average living. I was talking about.
I can't
like,
give you
like a family of
another family. I'm a family of 5. I'm telling you, if I want to cook, this is how I cook.
So you're telling me if you don't have like 60,000 a day, you can't eat?
How won't you eat? Most times you don't buy tea. Let's say in mornings you take tea and coffee. You can't be buying coffee every day. Now you don't buy breakfast.
And because when you say for one eating, like you're using 20,000 for late lunch, it means dinner you're using something like that to breakfast you're using something. Which means you're telling me you're spending like up to 50K a day.
Let me give you. You
then
asked me for a meal. That's why I'm giving you a breakdown.
And because 1 meal is how much I'm
spending
of my for the whole day.
If I'm making stew, currently I use a minimum of 100,000 for stew.
For how long will it last?
That stew serves me for 2 weeks. You get
100,000 is 1,000 Ghana cedis.
Yes, for stew, and it serves me for 2 weeks. If I'm making soup, for instance, I can decide to use maybe 30K for soup, and I can decide to do like 4 different soup at a stretch.
So 30K is 300 cedis.
I do it at a stretch. These whole things I'm making will serve me for 2 weeks. So for the next 2 weeks,
you spend about 200,000.
No, that's for this soup and stew. I might not do lunch and dinner because I have varieties now. Maybe my breakfast, of course, I have this thing. It goes make some for them.
Okay, so like you said, you spend like 200,000 for like 2 weeks.
Let's say if I use 200,000 now for
you
2
can
weeks,
get like how many different kind of soups?
I can get like 3 soup, 1 stew.
Okay.
Sometimes if I can actually get maybe if I feel like I need oil stew, I can use that same money to get oil stew and
And so it's fair that way, but the way it was like 20, I was like, I'm so surviving.
You know, the thing is about this living of a thing in Nigeria, if you calculate it, the poor actually tend to spend more because they eat every day.
Every day. You cook every day.
Yes, you cook every day. But once you have a freezer,
that you're buying things.
Yes, it's actually cheaper. Because then when you carry 200,000 to market, a normal person will like, 200 is big. But if you break it down and share that 200,000 in two, even some days you don't even eat the whole of the food. Because in between you might just decide to eat out, you know, skip meals, like that. You will see that maybe that food might even get to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Yes. So you will notice if you spread that money in 2 weeks, it's even less than 20K in a day. That's for a family of, in fact, as many as you are.
Because why I was like very surprised, like my own mom's side, if I go home, right? Let's say, let me try and break down for like electricity, because sometimes there's no light. Like in Edo State, there's light in Edo State, but she don't live in Edo State, she live in Delta. You know, when we had constant light in
constant light.
But Delta State, not be like that. And now they produce oil. Another story. So like we have like a lister. And my mom, you print our house, we have tenants. We have like, our tenant, we have like 4 flats that they are renting there. So we even give them like light. That light, like 10 liters of diesel can run us for like 2 nights. For our lister, that's our diesel engine.
But do you know 10 liters of diesel and 25 liters fuel are the same amount?
No, the one we were buying, the diesel was even cheaper than fuel. That's the last time, because you don't know where I live, but when I go, the last time was because now fuel is very expensive.
And now if you tell someone, okay, maybe because of even currently now people are converting.
Because I feel gas. Like that 10 liters of diesel we're buying was about 3,000.
Then how much was fuel?
Maybe then fuel was 100 or something now. Now even the thing, because fuel don't multiply now. Even when fuel began to
before I came here, fuel was almost 1,000.
Can you imagine? So I feel like both cost of living there are now becoming the same, but it still depends on the city you're living in. Because like back home where I'm from, that whole 200,000 she used in her cities for like 2 weeks. If you go to other smaller cities, that 200,000 can feed a family of 10 for even over a month. Because there are people that live on like minimum wage. So it basically depends on where you live. And still, that 200,000 too, in Lagos, might not even be able to feed a family of 5 for like a week.
Yeah, it depends on
where you live. So it basically depends on, I think it's the same thing in Ghana. If you go to like some places, cost of living is cheaper than when you're living in Accra. I used to be able to go to a market with 1,000 Ghana cedis and buy things that can last for months, for like a month. Turkey was like 200 something for a box. Chicken was like 200 for a box. That same turkey now is 550 for a box. So
how much is chicken now for the box?
It's about 500 Ghana cedis.
Do you know currently that chicken is about 100 plus now?
No, but the way they package our chicken in Nigeria and their own is different. That one is small. It's like half of our distance.
Oh, meaning if you even join 2, then they are one.
Yes. Because when the first time when I go, I'm like, give me a carton of chicken. What they call a carton, right? They can't bring that. They were like, oh, you mean boss? I'm like, okay, yeah. I'm like, the bigger one. They were like, this is the biggest one. So that was when I realized that the way they package our
smaller,
is smaller than ours. But still, I was buying it 200 when I first came to Ghana.
That's 20. Even then, it was cheaper.
Yeah, and then that
too long
carton
ago,
of chicken was 8,000 in Nigeria. When we were buying it 200 cedis here.
8,000.
We used to buy 8,000 in Nigeria. But now, so when you don't reach 500 for if you don't even reach 100, I don't know how much now. You don't take. But that's back cost of living. The renting. I feel like we have the same renting system.
Depends on what you want.
No, like the renting system, like that
yearly,
monthly, yearly. We have the same renting system in Nigeria. You have to like pay like 1 or 2 years ahead before you can move into the property, and then you start renewing yearly. You don't renew monthly. But so I think renting is the same thing. But price of houses are. What do you think about price of houses?
Ghana is actually way expensive than
in terms of rent, even
for
Lagos.
From anywhere.
Yeah.
Because the Lagos standard, that's the standard you get in Lagos and you get the same thing. When you compare the prices here, is still more expensive.
It's like over times 2.
Yes.
Because you can get like a standard, like in Island, Lekki, Ikoyi, for like 2 million, 3 million, 5 million.
You can get a 3-bedroom flat
for 5 million.
Yes, you can get a 5-bedroom 5 million K. You get a 3-bedroom flat for 2.5 in Lekki.
And 2.5 million is 25,000. Here, like if you're living in when you say Lekki is like the upper side in Lagos, right? Not the mainland, which is like East Legon, as this year, airport residential. You can't get a 2-bedroom in airport residential or East Legon for 2,020 or 25,000 for a year.
It's not possible.
It's not possible. Even you can't even get like a chamber and hall for that amount. If you want to get a chamber and hall that is that amount, you have to go like towards Dansuma as the other year to get that.
The accommodation is actually expensive.
Then what about transportation? Okay, rent. That's renting system is the same, and then light.
I mean, no good there. If not light, they cannot be compared. Though they get places too in Nigeria.
I keep saying that.
Even in Warri,
there are places they don't take their light.
As Warri,
there are areas
in Warri that they don't put off their lights. But then if they tell you their rent,
because renting
the same
there,
thing. I mean, even
now that light said, "Joe, to make rent there expensive."
Yes. You go to somebody, there's one estate in Warri. When you go there, you get a room there for 2.5 million. The same accommodation that even in Lagos, you can get 3-bedroom flat, just a room, just because of the light. But then they don't put up there. If there's any issues they need to rectify, they will have to let you know, and then it doesn't take time. So most people that go there go because of the light.
But then when we're in Oman, we had like 24 hours light. Renting was still cheap there.
I don't know what happened to my beloved country.
The one thing about Nigeria is there will be some area that will have like this thing in excess, and another area that don't have it at all. So it's not like that here. Here they have like constant electricity.
Where I am currently, we used to enjoy lights like a lot, but recently
they don't change up another side.
Yes, we had to install solar before for some time now.
You know what they do in Nigeria? Anywhere there's one big politician living, they try, or maybe if there is a mall close to that area, they shine electricity to that area and they drain the other side.
Wait, when
you don't notice it?
Nobody will stop to the get lights.
Now I tell you, so the streets were in there or something.
Right from time, he gets his own transformer for just a house. So that one maybe even this thing.
I tell you about my place now, right? Like Sherman Street, they get 24 hours electricity. Why my mom for our own street? Now when you see the light, they say with like now when you see the light, now 6 hours you see a manager, now 12 hours you see. If you don't even see her at all, manager. Why Sherman Street? They get 24 hours. So you can't make people call the wrong way they go buy land.
And then when you go buy, very expensive.
Yeah. So for light, the difference is there.
Ghana is very high when it comes to light.
The light
I came here for like 2 weeks, they've not blinked this light.
No, but if we're living in Kaswa now, they're doing a lot of doom store in Kaswa these days. But see, you can't compare it to Nigeria.
Because anybody you ask, most Nigerians, when you ask them,
no, they did doom store one day, yeah, but you were already sleeping. But you know why you will not notice? Because this is our place. Immediately they take like our backup generator pickups immediately. So now just like few seconds different, you go notice say the light off. And how you will tell the generator will say if you can't stand for this window, you can't see and say the area dark.
Okay.
That's how you know. You're not going to be now. You can see the light of day, but it happens like once in a month or once in 2 weeks. You cannot even compare. And then
even while I was coming, immediately. Okay, let me not use my coming. Let me use my going back. The last time I came, as I was going back, immediately you pass the Nigerian border, you will go into darkness. So you didn't have to tell me that I'm in Nigeria, like that darkness welcomes you to Nigeria. But here, even the undeveloped
areas like we went to Zema that time.
At night, if your needle falls on the floor, you can pick it up. But that one, even where your man is see like you can't see red light like oil. How could they say that?
Now I don't know who do us. Because people keep saying how to do with population.
You know, there was one time I actually got to believe that it was Nigerian that was giving gas.
I think it's gas they supply them. Gas.
Okay, it was gas they were supplying.
But they use I think they use the gas to produce electricity or something. But I don't know.
That was what I was meant to believe. But when I come that time, I can't see the light. How we where they give una something to get the thing pass us? So is it even possible?
Unless you be rich man or you they stay rich areas, you not go get light in Nigeria. But they said they've improved it in Lagos a lot, but the money now they be like Ghana money because electricity here is very expensive.
I don't tell you say even rent now is monthly, high. Very high, right?
Yeah, very high. Like,
but do they do solar here? Like maybe you don't want the light.
Some people, few people. I see solar beds, but why? Since you have 24-hour electricity, one thing why it's good in a way is the light is expensive, but you can manage your usage.
Oh, okay.
You can control your usage, right?
Even because solar, you need to control.
You can control your usage. So if you are buying like 2,000 lights and you know that 1,000 lights is supposed to last you for a month,
you should know what to put on
at intervals to like be able to make sure that 2,000 can take you for the month. But that 10,000 you can use it like I don't care, and it can start for like 2 weeks.
Though Nigerians, one of the reasons why they install solar isn't because it's just for the fact that there is no light.
There's no constant. For people that have
light and there is no light.
My sister, she went and she was like, to buy fuel is more difficult.
Yeah, so we're buying fuel because my husband now he can't sleep inside heat. So that routine. Some days when he calculates how much we spend on
that's a lot of money.
In a month, you won't believe it. So one time he just made up his mind and
to do solar.
Yes, and that was it.
I said I run solar, but my mom's still doing lister work.
You know, say lister now, you say they're affordable. Now.
Yeah, they're affordable. If we even wanted to be telling our tenant bring money for diesel also, it won't even affect anything. Just that we look at it take more diesel, so no need.
Because whether they connected
or no, now the same diesel you can use. So that's lighting, and then the people, I feel like people here, Nigerians, for me, right? When we talk about people, Nigeria and Ghana, Nigeria, people don't realize that Nigeria are very actually like, you can go to Nigeria and nobody will know you're a foreigner in Nigeria. Like, you can be a foreigner your first day in Nigeria, nobody can pick you out as a foreigner unless you are white or you're not black. But you can be a black in Nigeria and people will not be able to pick you out that, oh, you are Ghanaian or you are Kenyan. You will just blend in, right? But here, because of they can easily pick out our accent, so they easily know you are not Ghanaian by the way you sound.
Then too, if you don't sound, you can blend.
Yeah, if you don't talk, you can blend.
Immediately you open your mouth.
But the only reason you can't blend Nigeria because of how multilingual we are. They can easily assume you are from another part of Nigeria. Yes, unless
there is one part in Nigeria, I don't know which part exactly. Not like they speak like Ghanaians, they're English, but they sound alike.
Yeah. They
sound alike. So somebody might actually see a Ghanaian and will just, I bet now one of those places you come from, you know?
Because people talk about, oh, the way we see foreigners online here, or we see foreigners every day here, don't see it in Nigeria. I'm like, the only reason you think you're seeing it here is because here you're able to pick a foreigner by the way they talk.
Just detect it.
But in Nigeria, you cannot detect,
except if
unless they tell skin color, obviously. That's the only way. So, like when we go to that Ghana woman for Lagos go eat, right? If we don't know it's a Ghana woman or ask a question, would you know it's a Ghana woman?
No, you would never.
You would never know. She was sounding Ghana, but you wouldn't know. The only reason I know she was sounding Ghana was because I know the way they sound. So like, I'm like, and because of the food, so I call like, oh, yeah, are you from Ghana? I say yes, she's from Northern Ghana. So Nigeria
food is not something that Nigerians just produce.
Yeah.
So if you see
who is selling a Ghana food,
just know that person is Ghanaian.
They have like an area in a Ghana market, Ghana park. Now they are only Ghanaians
only
there.
Ghanaians.
Like Aja, they do business there. If you
want to eat anything Ghana, just go there.
If you're a Ghana living in Lagos and you're looking for your Ghanaian food, there is a market in Aja called Ghana Market. Ask anybody, will take you there. There's a park in Ekpe also. There is an area in Ekpe that there are only Ghanaians that live there. Like a lot of Ghanaians, obviously. I've been to that community once, 2022. That was where I noticed that. So like it's like that. But when it comes to like people, I feel like people here are a bit or a lot more friendly or accepting to foreigner because when they know you're a foreigner,
they want to know.
More
I
about
like the fact that they're inquisitive.
Yeah,
they want to know. They have this urge to learn. They will just want to learn. Even the ones that you feel didn't go to school.
Yeah.
When they see you, they just want to know about you. Where you come from.
Someone new.
Before you know some days, like yesterday, the lady that was laughing with me in the market, even when I didn't respond, she was just, you know,
being very playful to you.
If it's in Nigeria, she will cut chain follow you.
So they carry their...
When it comes to being friendly, Ghanaians are very friendly.
They're
I love people that are friendly. You can just easily blend.
She went to a fufu and that woman came to drag you and start dancing.
And she just started introducing herself. I was like, oh,
one legit nice. Carry me from dance floor to somewhere else. Oh, you're looking so big. I'm like, so when it comes to like being friendly to foreigners, they are very friendly and very welcoming to foreigners. Street food is essentially the same. I feel like the difference between street food in Ghana and Nigeria is that the different kind of street food. They have both food. We have egg roll and buns and puff puff. They have meat pie. We have meat pie, but there is difference in our meat pie. Oh, you've not tasted it. The first time I'm like, this is some meat pie. I'm not a fan of meat pie. Exactly, that's why it's very different from our meat pie.
But it's nice.
It's nice, but I prefer our Nigerian meat pie. Maybe because that's what I grew up eating. Yeah. So that's the difference. Then there's kelewele, there's plantain, popo, or they call it bole. So they generally are most the same kind of street food. The difference is the kind of food they make, right? Street food they make. So street food essentially is the same thing. Craft. When it comes to craft, they're here. Here, I feel like there's vast difference between the kind of craft they do in Nigeria. Nigeria, they do more of traditional wares, like different.
Every tribe have their traditional.
Every tribe has traditional wear.
But here it's like even outside the tribal.
Yeah, they have like little crafts they do
that everybody
that shows like African. You know, they have a lot of African inspired crafts here. And when it comes to festivals, there are a lot of festivals here also. I think that's one of the major differences. There are a lot of festivals in Ghana compared to Nigeria. They do like food festival, craft festival, tribal festival, but the festivals in Nigeria are like few in between. They are not like specific. But here there are like a lot of festivals. That's why foreigners coming to Africa and wanting to experience Africa for the very first time, it's easy to come here and be able to like experience festivals, food festivals, crafts, to like introduce to Africa than Nigeria. Because if you can go to Nigeria and you can just...
If you are going to Nigeria, you must have an agenda.
Yeah.
But you can come to Ghana without even having But then once you come, everything
falls. You know, so you're not going to go to Nigeria and be like, oh, unless December, because December in Nigeria is crazy.
Very busy. But then you need money. Money.
Somebody needs money. Anyway, that brings us to the end of this video. Thank you so much for chatting with us. Let us know if there's anything else. I should be doing more sit-down videos. I've not done this in a real... She's the reason I'm actually doing sit-down videos.
I think when I get to Nigeria, I'm going to be doing a talk on my experience in Ghana with some of my Nigerian. I'm going to entertain them with Nigeria, with Ghana, that they will even get to come to Ghana. Because I actually have a lot I want to share with you.
You see?
Yes, so.
Anyway, we're looking forward to seeing that. Me personally, I'm looking forward to seeing that. Anyway, thank you for working with us. Before you leave, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Vanessa, signing out.
Zamzams.
Signing out. Bye.
Bye.